Welcome to the Football Retro Podcast.
The word welcome, I guess, is stretching it a little when you're an Australian in a place like this today.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Football Retro Podcast. I'm your host Johnny, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts Fadi, Akram and Adasi. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, good man, good. How are you?
Good, we're back.
Yeah, we're back after a bit of a break here. How would it have been, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
I haven't seen you guys since last year.
Typical.
Such a long time.
How you been, Fadi?
I feel like you mispronounced my name initially, but it's okay, I'll let it slide.
I haven't seen you in that long, I forgot what you look like.
Yeah, first one for the year, it's fine, I'll let it slide. But yeah, I'm good. Good to be back.
Be a bit more inclusive next time, Johnny.
I kind of missed the shit talk with you boys, but it's good.
What did you guys get up to in the holidays? Any football-related activities?
Don't ask us like you actually care. Football related, no, not really. I wish, but it was mainly family and food.
That and watching a few games that were on. La Liga was still on at the time. There was no break this time, given the pandemic and stuff. So
Premier League's always busy.
Yeah, always that time of year. Yeah, so enough to keep us going. And also the couple of news happened while we were on a 3-week hiatus with the Pochettino. Appointed as PSG coach.
Yeah, big news, man. Big news.
Yeah.
Already won a trophy?
That's right, yeah, in 11 days. More than what he won in Spurs in
Very
5 years.
exciting, very exciting.
Back to his
You'll be happy about that?
back to his first club. A lot of managers now back at their
Old
clubs that they played for.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of managers now. I saw a post about it.
Arteta, who else?
Zidane.
Yeah, they're trying to
He
copy
started a trend, man.
It was before Zidane, but a lot of current
Pirlo
managers, Simeone.
Atletico.
Yes, there's a lot of managers that are back coaching their clubs that they played for.
Pirlo now
at some stage.
Juve.
It pains me to say it's probably something that Guardiola started, eh?
With Barca.
Yes, with Barca.
Luis Enrique as well was there.
Yeah, a few. There's a few there.
Fair enough. I actually read the Fergie book, one of the Fergies.
Yeah?
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah.
Did you actually finish it?
I'm almost finished, yeah. So it's not his autobiography.
Reading books.
It's more a business aspect of it. So he talked about his leadership style and everything like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stories about Van Nistelrooy, about Cristiano Ronaldo, about Scholes, about Beckham. So it's
the business side of it, eh? Yeah. Trying to get football retro on the global map, eh? Have to. No, I get it. That's the goal.
I'm loaded with information today, guys. I'm loaded with, not controversy, but
anger.
Outbursts, yes.
Yeah. Why? Like, you're not in a good mood? You haven't seen us for a few weeks. I thought that was exciting. Anything happened today that get your mind off?
Not that I want to speak about.
Oh, okay.
Let's speak about it.
But let's just say in the last 2 days, I've watched 3 South American games. Obviously, both of the Copa Libertadores semi-finals and the Copa Sudamericana semi-final. Right? Now, let me have a bit of a rant and then you can jump in because I know Akram will disagree with me here.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I know Akram will disagree 100%.
That's what I'm here for.
Football is changing and not for the better.
Okay.
VAR has a lot to do with this. In the same way that we live in a soft society where people get
let him fucking finish.
What I say? Let me speak and then you can have your say. And you're going to disagree with this.
Even though I disagree with other things, but I agree with this point. Yeah, continue.
The same way we live in a soft society where people get offended easily at anything, and then we argue that our kids don't have resilience, but we create a society for them where they're allowed to get offended by everything and protect them. So we encourage sort of that behaviour in a way. In football, it's the same thing. In the last 3 games, all I've seen was complaining to the refs about any handballs, any possible handballs, exaggerations in diving. Now, you may say, it's South American football, but the protesting of the referees when it comes to the smallest of fouls, when it comes to the smallest of handballs, we created that because now any type of contact can be reviewed and will be given. So we've encouraged, in a way, the diving. We've encouraged the softer people falling. We've encouraged to the point where Boca's goal, they copped a goal. The first goal they received.
Who was playing first of all?
Santos versus Boca.
Okay.
Right. The first goal, Santos had a shot. Hit Boca's defender in the arm.
Yep.
Every player on the pitch stopped. Say handball. The Boca's defender stopped. The Santos player stopped until one guy got the ball and tapped it in. Because everyone has stopped because they know now that with a handball anything can happen.
They're expecting a reaction.
So in a way,
one time the referee leaves it.
In a way, we've shifted football. We've been shifting football to a softer football where people are encouraged to dive because they know there's going to be a reaction out of it. You know that if you stay injured on the floor, it's going to be reviewed and then something may happen out of it, even if it's the smallest of contacts. Because a slow motion in VAR is different to real life, is different to actually happened.
Okay.
Well,
So
I think it's ironic you say that, because there's a lot of talk over the years of them trying to clamp out diving and that it's just, you, from your point of view, saying it's getting worse.
It's being encouraged in a way.
Yeah. And the whole point is that they're trying to clamp it out. But yeah, VAR, I think, is a big talking point since, been now 2 years now, 3 years since it's been around. And yeah, like every country has its different ways of interpreting it and applying the rules, and there's just no consistency. I think that's the problem. Whether it's here locally in Australia, or Premier League, La Liga, Champions League, it's got to be sorted.
I find your analogy is very interesting when you're saying that it's...
So do I.
Yeah, it's like I knew you'd like that, Akram, but yeah, you're saying that it's, you know, akin to a society where everything's soft and whatnot, and I agree to an extent. I feel like it does encourage that, you know, crying, sooking, whatever you want to call it, sort of approach, which I definitely hate. I used to love the referee making the decision on the fly, and then that's it. It is what it is. Yes, sometimes there were mistakes, absolutely, but has it really eliminated the mistakes? Because even with VAR now, there still are mistakes. So really, what's the point? You're better off, because then it brings into question, well, if there's still a mistake with VAR, then what's happening? I think that's more frustrating to a football fan when VAR becomes involved and the decision is still incorrect afterwards, after the fact, and it's still controversial. If VAR came in, it was quick, sharp, and it eliminated any doubt, and it was done, I don't think people will complain.
No.
Even if it is correct, in the River Plate game, for example, they argued for a penalty in the last second of the game. To me, it was a pen, but they called an offside from like 30 seconds before.
Yeah, so with that point, that's a good point, because I feel like, where do you draw the line? Where does it stop? How far back in a play can you go? Where do you determine that the play commenced? Right? So if something happened and they say, oh, let's go look back at it, do they go all the way back from when the keeper had the ball and passed it, and there was 16 passes?
Apparently it's a stoppage, whether it's a throw in, a free kick.
Yeah, I don't think that's right, because what if you're, for example, it's a Barcelona incident and they're playing tiki-taka and they've got 35 passes before they score. You're going to go back for 3 minutes? Well, they've had possession for 3 minutes, and you're going to say, well, if that didn't happen, or it did happen, then it wouldn't have resulted in
it's happened
X
before.
I think that's too much. It's got to be, you know, 10 seconds either side, or something definitive that's directly related to the incident. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
And you got calls that takes them like 2 to 5 minutes to decide.
That's the other problem.
That's an issue.
That's the other problem. If you can't make a decision in the first 30 seconds, then obviously it's not an obvious and clear error by the referee.
So
go back. This is your chance to speak.
It's my chance. It's funny because it's my chance to speak. Yeah, I'm going to follow with a question. Like, what part do you think I disagree with?
The soft society.
Okay, well, look.
I think that's more of a stirring.
It's more of a fact.
It's not a fact at all. It's just, you know, you're absolutely wrong about that. No, absolutely, it's not. That's your point of view. That's your point of view. Now, but first of all, is this a political podcast? Or is this a football podcast?
¿Por qué no las dos?
Cutting from Slack is a little bit frustrated about this morning, but we won't get into that right now.
If you're talking football, like 100% I agree. I mean, to be honest, football has been having a problem like this for 20 years. It's now gotten to a point where maybe it's got to a tipping point, but I completely agree with you about some of those things. It's really, really poor looking at 3 or 4 or 5 players running to the ref, yelling and screaming. It's not a good look, especially to casual fans or people who are not a big fan of football. That's all they kind of know football to be.
Yeah,
it's not a good look for our game.
I agree.
But I completely disagree with this analogy to society. Where did you get this idea that society's soft, and then you draw a conclusion between that and soft kids? Well, why
the fact that we changed the Chase's name? Different story.
But what does that do with softness?
I was watching the game this morning.
Just keep going. It's okay.
I was watching the game this morning, and I saw these players, like you said, arguing, and I was thinking, you know what? I'll be doing the same thing, because they've created this environment where
who's created this environment? You know, I've been
FIFA.
Don't forget, like
FIFA,
not society though.
I'm talking about football.
Let's just. Oh, okay.
Why are you getting angry now? We're not talking about football now.
All right, so now we're just talking about football.
If you're talking about the other thing,
I'm not talking about it. You brought it up, mate.
Because it's very similar.
go.
It's
Here we go.
Because here we say, oh, by
How
the
you going,
players,
Adasi?
I'm good, man. I'm listening. Popcorn ready, man.
the players shouldn't be diving. The players shouldn't be complaining. The players shouldn't be arguing so much with the referee. But then
Not that they shouldn't. Like, look, you know this firsthand, right? When we play as well, a decision happens. You're gonna say, "Ref, this, that."
Yeah.
But it's momentary. It's literally a second or two. The ref doesn't give it. You play to the whistle,
And he's not gonna change his
and then
mind.
you continue, right? But as you're saying, you're right. Now it's players surrounding the referee,
Then should there,
demanding that it get reviewed by VAR.
should there be a thing where only the captains speak to the refs?
maybe,
Maybe.
even with VAR, I've said it before here. Captain's challenge. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think VAR just should be scrapped completely. I hate it.
Well, if I pick yes or no to keep it or scrap it, I'd scrap it too.
I think there should only be. I agree with goal line technology. Yes, because that's difficult.
But not for offsides and stuff.
But offsides, when they're measuring, they're doing Pythagoras theorem to get the fucking line to see if his shoulder's offside or not. Like, get
Shin
off.
pad.
The one thing that they need to crack down on somehow is time wasting.
Yeah.
When a team's winning 1-0, and then the keeper goes down injured, or the keeper goes hemi, and the players are going.
What are they going to do? VAR it?
Gamesmanship.
No,
VAR.
And see if he actually got injured. Determine the severity of his injury.
Well, the only thing they do now is they give them a yellow card for time wasting. What do you think?
Yeah, but how many
But,
keepers
but,
have got
but
yellow cards
how can you
time
prove?
wasted?
How can you prove that they're
That's
injured
exactly.
or not? And
I
so
mean,
that's the problem.
you really
That's the
can't,
argument.
but don't you think you could find, like, if any player establishes a pattern of doing it every couple of games that they keep falling down, then you can review it later and go, mate, this is the 5th time in the last 7 games that you've fallen down injured,
Yeah.
and then played the next
Yeah,
game.
but then teams will start rotating the players that go down.
Yeah.
But they need to find a way to, like, the time wasting is just, I don't know.
Obviously, there's a lot of time wasting this morning.
No, fair enough. But let me ask you guys something with VAR, because we all agree that right now it's incredibly problematic. There's a lot of issues. Fatty would scrap it all together. Adasi, you'd scrap it all together. So
For now, yeah, I would.
no one's in love with this thing. Do you think people up in FIFA are looking at it thinking, do you see in a few years any changes to this system?
There has to be.
They've been calling for it, and now it's here.
So that's what I mean. Like, who's they?
I think the issue here is
The
that
media? Is it football
Some
coaches?
fans have called for it.
Look,
Yeah, but fans call for
Coaches-
everything. I don't care. I
coaches-
don't give a shit what
coaches
fans
have called
want.
for it.
Fans complain about everything.
I think the problem is that FIFA or the decision makers when it comes to football as a whole are a little detached sometimes from reality. Something is idealistically a great idea,
Yeah.
but in reality, it's not a good concept. Or in practice, it doesn't work. Like they've had their time with it. They've tried. They've made changes within VAR. They started with one thing. They've changed little things. Okay, okay, now we can't do this. All right, this happens. That happens. It still hasn't worked. I think it's got to come to a point where collectively, and I don't think it's going to be a decision that comes from FIFA, because as we saw, different leagues implemented it at different times.
True.
For example, in Australia, the A-League was one of the first to implement
Yeah.
it before the Premier League and things like that. So, Australian football, FFA thinks they want to be trendsetters and, we're going to do it first. But like everything else, they fall flat on their face. So
Leaders in the global sport.
They fell into the hole first, looking like idiots. And then they scrapped it for a little bit and now it's back again. So, I mean, I don't understand.
But
And-
fans never liked it.
no, fans didn't like it. There was a decision last week. We watched the Wanderers game, and there was an offside decision there. In normal pre-VAR days, would have been a goal every day of the week.
Yep.
They had to go back, 15 seconds into the play to see that the guy's shoulder was offside.
Yeah.
So, and then the argument at the time was, well, how much of an advantage is it for the striker that his shoulder is leaning forward ahead to the other player?
Yeah.
How much of an advantage is it really? It's not like your foot's ahead. You've got
Yeah.
a foot advantage on the guy.
It's a bit of
One.
overkill, I think.
Yeah,
But see, then for me, it always goes back to, it's not necessarily an issue of technology, but it's about way the officials are viewing the game
The
and refereeing the game.
interpretation.
It's the rules that are in place and
But
the interpretations of those rules.
let me ask a question. Previously, with the offside rule, the interpretation always was the advantage. If there's any doubt, the advantage goes to the attacking team.
Yeah.
Has that been eliminated now? Does that not
It
exist
has,
anymore?
because
Because the VAR has got to be definitive,
I've
right?
seen VARs given by a toe or an umpire.
So there's no advantage to the attacking team.
No.
And the point of giving the advantage to the attacking team was to keep football exciting.
Yeah.
So if it was a goal, instead of cancelling the goal, no, we're going to have the goal because all right, maybe the guy was half a foot offside, half of his actual foot, not half a foot distance, but
It's a funny one. It's a funny one because it's like, before the conversation and before conversations that we've talked about previously, I would have to say I really didn't give a fuck about VAR, one way or the other. However, it's so funny how these conversations sound very similar to the conversations they would have in the NRL. It's once you included technology in the game, you start hearing these conversations. It's so funny when as soon as Fatty asked what happened to the attacking team and the benefit of the doubt, I'm like, far out, that sounds like the footy show all over again. It really is emblematic that how bad VAR is, because technology, I think, just it doesn't belong in a physical, fast moving game. It ruins every facet of it.
I think it's just proof that technology is not foolproof either.
Yeah.
Aside from that, the other thing that you mentioned, which is really crucial, I think there are sports where video technology and things like that don't really have as big a role to play.
No.
When it comes to sports like tennis, for example, I understand.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of time there. It's a single man sport.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
have challenges and
it's
things like
quick
that.
as well.
But with football is probably one of the fastest non-stop
Games,
team
absolutely.
games, compared to your rugby league,
stoppages,
compared to everything.
yep.
Yeah, the stoppages are very minimal. You don't stop long between goals. Like once a goal's scored, it's the ball
You
back
could
at halfway and you
conceivably-
start
yeah,
again.
absolutely.
And now you see stoppage time coming up now. It's 6 minutes these days, 7 minutes.
I remember stoppage times a minute, 2,
3.
if there was no injuries or not many substitutions.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you made all your subs,
3.
generally
Yeah.
they would allow 30 seconds per sub, but it
Yeah.
never really made it to that.
The other day, the River Play game had 9 minutes injury time.
And that's to do no injuries, they'll just do VAR calls.
And players slowing
yeah.
it down as well, and
Yeah.
probably things
South
like that.
Americans, there would
Mostly
have
they,
been some injuries. There would have been someone rolling around pretending that they were hurt.
Is that a shot at Neymar there, Fatty?
Hey?
Is that a
No,
shot
it's
at
a
Neymar?
shot at South Americans.
Confused. Fair enough.
All right, let's jump into the topic today. I want
Oh,
to.
this wasn't the topic?
No, that was just my rant that extended.
But you haven't
into-
finished.
It's good appetizer.
But we don't know what happened this morning.
Nothing happened.
But what are you referring to?
A
What-
few football games that
VAR
happened.
Just some football.
No, look, there wasn't a VAR in the Vélez game. Like that changed the game.
Yeah?
That's just football.
Yeah.
Bad result. Anyways, we want to speak about. Obviously, we're early in 2021. A few big names have retired in the last 12 months. So I wanted to have a chat about some of the retirements that happened in 2020.
Yeah.
I'll start it off with the goalkeeper. Who am I talking about? Adasi?
It has to be Iker Casillas. Yeah.
Was
Legend,
he
Real Madrid.
retired last year?
Yeah.
So he had the heart
And
attack.
Porto.
he was still,
Yeah.
performing, playing pretty well.
He had the heart attack in May of 2019, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then he officially retired last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
still playing. Wow.
Yeah, what a career. I mean, look back, what he achieved at Real Madrid, what he achieved with Spain, with 3 Champions Leagues titles, and then multiple La Liga titles,
Absolutely.
Copa del Rey, and then with the national team captaining 2 Euros, 1 World Cup. Great shot stopper. He was great leader for both club and country.
He still has a few records, most clean sheets in Champions League history,
Yeah?
Yeah,
and most appearances in Champions League.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
Most
fantastic
appearances in
player.
Champions
Just
League.
crazy. I
What's he
remember
on?
we made his debut in Champions League in '99. I remember. And then
I wonder if Ronaldo and Messi are close to beating that most appearances in the Champions League record. Surely.
Ronaldo would be close, I'm guessing. I don't know.
I mean, he's done it with
Yeah.
multiple clubs.
Hmm.
Man United,
yeah,
True.
Juventus, Real Madrid.
epic career, one of the best goalkeepers of all time. Just a shame the way his career had to come to an end like that with his heart scare. And while he was playing with Porto,
Yeah.
What do you mean
And
comes? I mean, how old is he now?
39?
2040.
Yeah, it's- I mean, yeah.
For a goalkeeper can go a bit longer.
Yeah, goalkeeper. Yeah, but a bit. Like, what's he going to go to? 40, maybe
Yeah,
41.
Look at Buffon.
Buffon's an anomaly, but look at Buffon.
True.
There's no other Buffons there.
But it's not, it's not
But
just that.
just the way, like having how healthy just was a bit of a shame how he had to.
It's a shame, but at the same time, it was, I think, also a positive end in the sense that he was able to survive the
scare.
heart attack at
Yeah.
Adasi. So
Yeah.
I think all's well that ends well. He was able
Yeah.
to
Of
still
course,
have
that's the
his
main
life.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I think his career was. I think his career was properly.
Yeah, his legacy was
rated.
in stone. It was
yeah,
done.
Like he got the kudos that he deserved.
And
He was
that-
properly rated for his achievements.
Yeah.
I felt that going to Porto was probably a little bit too much. He should have finished before he went to
I would have
Porto.
loved to have finished at Real.
Yeah, that's where he should have ended up.
They had Mourinho problems, didn't he?
He did, but then Mourinho left, and then still he left in 2015 when Carlo Ancelotti was there, and then
Yeah.
Ancelotti got sacked. It was a bit of a shame, but now he's back at the club.
Yep.
He's got a role there. I think it's part of the Real Madrid Foundation,
Okay.
the social work there. So yeah, it's good to see him back.
He's
at the
also
club.
remembered for, was it the World Cup? After he won the World Cup, he was interviewed, and then halfway through the interview, just grabbed the journalist and started
His,
kissing
No, it's his girlfriend.
wife.
Girlfriend, wife.
He's also, it's an interesting story about Casillas in 2002 and how he stood up in the Champions League final. He's on the bench.
Yeah.
Cesar got injured, came on, produced 2 or 3 key saves to win the Champions League for Real. And then leading up to the World Cup in Korea and Japan, he was due to be second choice keeper. Canizares was number 1. And then an incident happened in the hotel where an aftershave bottle fell off on Canizares' foot.
I remember
and
that.
pulled him out the World Cup.
I remember
No,
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember that story.
broke a bone tendon.
Canizares,
Wow.
Yeah.
Canizares was number 1 at the time, obviously because Valencia did so well in the Champions League, and he was, one of their main players.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that incident where he had the mishap in the hotel room
Yeah.
with his foot, and he got injured, and he
Wait,
out.
wait,
It was
so,
crazy.
so Cesar got injured,
Yeah.
which
Good,
gave Casillas, and then
Canizares.
Canizares got injured. Casillas, man, what have you been doing, mate?
The stars are falling.
Right trend here.
Some black magic, some color neutral magic. Sorry, Not
And
black.
he to make the most of the opportunities, you'd say. But, yeah.
No, fantastic keeper. I think we all loved him. Exciting keeper to be
Yeah.
sure. Wasn't one of the tallest, biggest keepers.
No.
Usually relied on his reflexes and his speed, which was always fun to see.
And he's one of the ones.
Usually went for some spectacular saves rather than the easy ones. So
No.
we were all big fans of him.
Yeah, and that 1-on-1 save against Robin in the 2010 final.
Yeah.
Cup.
He was my favourite keeper in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
there's always that argument of Casillas versus Buffon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
We discussed that in a previous episode.
Yeah, we've discussed it before. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you've changed. I don't know if 2020 has changed your mind, Adasi. But
Nah.
look, unfortunately, as much as I was a massive fan of Casillas, played for the club that I support, Real Madrid, and all that, I would still have to put Buffon over him.
Casually slide.
What about you guys? Ian?
So as Real Madrid fans,
Yeah.
can you name me one Casillas moment that you remember that stands out for you?
It'd be the Champions League final 2002, those saves he did.
Yeah,
such a
I'll have
short
to go
time.
with the same one, but
And also the 2007 La Liga title win in the final day, and we won on the final day against Mallorca, and him in tears, just the passion that he had, and what a title winning season that was. And I thank Arsenal for giving us Jose Antonio Reyes on loan, best loan deal like we could have asked for.
Rest in peace, Jose Antonio.
That's right. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, one of those two. I think.
No, fair enough. I'm probably similar to Adasi. I can't remember any others that really stand out. It's difficult for keepers, unless you put
For highlights, there's penalty saves, there's like
There's a few
last minute
penalties, but
saves.
unless it's specifically into winning opportunities and things like that, it is hard to just remember.
But
I
for
think
Spain, definitely that save against Robin in the
Yeah.
final.
That was spectacular.
Yeah.
Another one that retired last year. Fatty, maybe you can speak more about this one. Leighton Baines,
Leighton Baines. Oh, Everton legend.
the sideburns.
He always resembled footballers of the 60s and 70s, I think, in England.
Yeah,
It was crazy. I mean, he had a good spell at Everton.
about 13 years, I think.
Yeah, he had a good spell at Everton, and he was always he had a crazy left foot. He used to take a lot of free kicks, bombing up and down the left. He started as a left back, and then he sort of progressed a bit further forward.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
He's got 2 records as well.
I wouldn't know that.
The highest penalty scorer for Everton,
Yep.
and the defender with the most assists in Premier League's history.
Yeah, he's known for a good cross. He's definitely
enough.
he's good with the set piece. He's got a good left peg on him. But yeah, I didn't know where did he end up last year. Where was he?
I don't know, I can look it up.
How old was he when he retired?
You're asking too many questions now that I know. I mean, I know.
Ask once.
I've watched him a lot, but not someone that I've followed religiously.
No,
He must have been a late bloomer though. Like I didn't. He
Much about him.
early
growing up,
late 2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think came from lower leagues in England, if I'm not mistaken.
So he played for Wigan for 5 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he went to Everton, retired in Everton.
Oh, wow.
I remember his left foot. Those free kicks he used to take.
He's 36 now.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah.
It's about right.
Yeah, of course.
Depends who you're talking to as well. Once again,
As
I
long as
mean,
it-
Cristiano. I know he's a freak.
Yeah,
different,
come on.
but-
Zlata's another freak.
Yeah.
But
What about that Japanese player? What was his name?
54?
50. He signed another 1 year contract extension this week.
Yeah.
They gave him another contract extension.
Wow.
His first season as a professional was in '86.
Before Messi was born.
Wow. That's insane, though.
Yeah, he signed. I saw this week he signed the contract extension. He got another year. That's crazy. Surely they're keeping him on for his leadership qualities.
Yeah, of course.
And whatnot.
Can
Like,
imagine.
he is still getting a run.
Mm.
He wouldn't be playing 90 minutes.
But yeah,
Not saying he's not fit, but I'm saying other people will be
yeah, no,
fitter than him.
Of course.
Yeah, great diet. He's on sashimi and stuff.
How do you know what he's doing?
Sashimi Nasahi.
That's a very stereotypical blanket, generalistic,
You-
racist
Too
statement.
generalistic.
You can't say shit like that in 2020.
Right.
2021, sorry.
Sorry,
What's
guys.
with you, Ryan?
Sorry. I'm
Say-
Right,
Good
yeah.
diet.
hang around
Sashimi.
Johnny too much.
Sashimi and rice. Good diet.
Love it.
Rice eater.
Given Leighton's record of the most assists as a defender in the Premier League history,
Yeah.
what other ones come to mind?
I would say defenders.
With assists? So I'm thinking Man United.
Yeah,
the peak.
Man United. You'd think
Who did
probably
they have? Gary Neville?
Yeah, you'd say Neville or Irwin. Dennis Irwin. But
Evra.
yeah,
Ashley
he did
Cole
have
have a
some.
few.
Ashley Cole would have a lot of assists because he did it at Arsenal. He did it at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Lauren for Arsenal had a lot of assists as well
Yeah.
as a right back.
I don't mean to hijack the conversation, but I've heard a lot of talk about Ashley Cole in the last week or so. I don't know why, just no specific reason. But do you guys Chelsea player or Arsenal overall?
Chelsea player. He
Yeah?
achieved everything with Chelsea, not
Fair
with
enough,
Arsenal.
man.
It's funny the story about him. He got tapped up by Mourinho and then
Badly.
that
That was a massive transfer saga.
Yeah,
Right?
it was a massive saga.
Oh,
It was all about money, and he
Yeah.
didn't hide it. He said it was about the money.
I remember
And he
Gallas
went-
went the other way and the deal and all.
Yeah,
Mm.
but he went and he won. He won
Fair
everything
enough.
he needed to win that. I mean, not that he didn't. He did the double with Arsenal. He was part of the Invincibles and whatnot, but he went and did it with Chelsea as well.
What they called
Yeah,
him?
He had a bit of a longer career at Chelsea, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
called him. I think Arsenal fans
Cashley.
called him Cashley Hole.
Yeah. But his first game back, they had dollar signs and they had bills thrown it at him and shit. It's funny.
Anyway.
All right, another name, another retirement. Surprise one, this one.
Oh really?
Andre Schürrle.
Oh yeah.
Big surprise. Yeah.
Still fairly young though, right?
Yeah, 29 he retired at.
Wow.
Didn't realise he was 29. He looks older.
He was.
Yeah, he does.
One of the star players for Germany's World Cup win, scoring 2 goals against Brazil in the semi-final, setting
remember
up. And I don't know if to mention this
7-1. Yeah.
in the final, setting up the winner for Götze.
Yep.
Yeah.
in the
Got
final,
that.
and he was at Chelsea at the time.
Do you know why he retired?
A couple of things: injuries, and also, from what I read, he just lost motivation, passion for the game.
Oh
Wow.
really?
Yeah, and he went to he was at Chelsea World Cup time. I think he left halfway through the 2015 season. Went to Wolfsburg, and went for a year or two there. Went to Dortmund for a couple of years. Didn't work out there. Then Spartak Moscow.
I was surprised when he went back to Wolfsburg because I thought he was, at the
I-
peak of his
yeah.
career.
Yeah.
You right in the middle peak of your career. You're at Chelsea, vital player for Chelsea. I know he dipped in and out of form a little bit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You've come off a World Cup win, like you're
Yeah.
a World Cup winner, and he wasn't just a squad player, right? Like he played
Yeah.
a big role.
Yeah,
In Germany's World Cup win.
yeah, that's right. And,
That generation of German players are really starting to be phased down, start to retire, right?
That's the thing with Germany. Germans are very ruthless. I feel when it comes to that. If
Pragmatic and like
like straight up, very structured, very strong.
yeah.
Not performing out. There's no sentiment there. I don't know. I just feel like that. They're very. If they're not happy, if they don't like a certain type of player, it doesn't fit their style at the time. They'll just chop them out.
He had a spell at Fulham as well.
yeah,
Oh,
spell there, and then finished at Spartak Moscow.
That definitely shows his lack of passion for the game. to go back from Chelsea and Wolfsburg to go back to Fulham.
He was at Dortmund.
Yeah,
Good
Dortmund
goal
didn't-
average though.
Even at Chelsea when he started.
what was his goal average, Johnny?
70 goals or 69 goals in 288 games.
No.
Even with at Chelsea, that time he was there, he put in some decent performances, but
Goal every 4 games, roughly.
didn't.
Yeah, for someone who's not like a striker.
He's done now. That's
You know,
right.
striker, no.
Yeah, but that's sometimes it works out for you, and you think
Didn't
sometimes
he-
you reach the summit and then you go down.
Didn't he play a bit on the wing at Chelsea?
Yeah, more of a
Yeah.
winger.
He's mostly a winger, right?
Even for Germany, 22
Yeah.
goals in 57 appearances.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
bad.
that's not bad.
Yeah,
So I'm a little confused. So, which club did he start his career with?
Mainz.
Yeah.
FC Mainz.
Then Leverkusen,
And then he went to Dortmund.
Leverkusen, then Chelsea.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, because there's a lot of talk about that German generation coming up. Him with Götze and Royce, the friendship that they all had, that they formulated leading up to the 2014 World Cup.
Yeah,
Is Gosse still alive?
Where is Götze?
Götze at PSV.
Yeah.
He actually read an interesting
Is he?
article about him.
I feel like after the World Cup, about a year or so, and then he just vanished.
He
Absolutely
actually
did.
interesting
He
article.
went through a lot of issues, man.
Interesting article
He
about
had
him.
stomach issues, didn't he?
Interviews,
Issues. Yeah.
metabolism.
Health issues.
Metabolism issues. He
I
was losing weight.
thought because paparazzi snapped him on a boat with his little heart on in his undies with his girlfriend,
But
and then he had to vanish after that because he was embarrassed. Is
but
that why?
No, he actually said like after he scored that goal in the World Cup final, the expectation was just so much on him. They expected him to just keep delivering every week.
He just scored the winner for the World Cup.
Yeah,
mate.
what else do you want in your
What
life?
do you want?
Stop complaining.
What are you crying about?
He was on,
He's not necessarily complaining. He's just saying that's
he
what it
just couldn't
was.
reach there.
You're right, Johnny. There's that soft mentality.
Oh, here we go.
Poor guy, scored the winner in a World Cup.
No,
There's so much pressure.
That's what happened. And also in the article I read about an interview he had is now he's finding his feet slowly, just enjoying his time at PSV.
I'm enjoying. I have a.
He's got a hot girlfriend who won the World Cup. Relax, bro. And you made of money.
Yeah, but yeah, that's
Yeah, that's.
He didn't have a great
I
relationship
agree,
with
Johnny.
Guardiola, right?
not the best. No,
No, not the
3
best.
years at Bayern, he was a big expectations, and he went
Yeah,
back
absolutely.
to Dortmund.
But it should be a big expectation. He won the World Cup.
How old was he when he won the World Cup? He was really quite young, though, right?
Mid-20s, I think.
22,
He came off the bench that
22.
game as well.
Yeah, he did come off the bench.
22, 23, yeah.
You seem to remember that game very well, Johnny. Huh? What happened?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Why just nodding silently?
speaking of other German players that retired last year, right? After Andre Schürrle was Mario Gomez.
Yeah.
Yeah, another big player for that 2014 World
Gomez
Cup.
He,
different.
he
mate.
wasn't at the World Cup.
No?
No.
No, he was. He stopped after. He didn't make it then. He had
Didn't
all
make,
his-
I
Really?
think he was injured for dinner.
Really?
he
Really?
didn't get,
Yeah.
he didn't get picked. Yeah.
Okay.
But he was there for a couple of Euros, I think. And he was 2010, he was there when they came third.
Oh, okay. No, fair enough.
Yeah. But,
Very big player
bit of
for
Play
Bayern
for
Munich, though.
Stuttgart.
Fiorentina as well.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Besiktas as well. Was there for a
That's
bit.
not a German name though.
Gomez.
Mario Gomez.
Mario Gomez. Relax, we're not German.
Sounds
Well, if you look at the
sounds
current,
fucking Mexican.
if you look at the current German squad, a lot of players coming through. A lot of them are ethnic backgrounds. Man.
Of course they are. Like Ozil.
Ozil.
Ozil's another one that vanished. I'm surprised he hasn't retired yet. He's gone to Fenerbahce apparently.
I mean, think about Ozil, man. Don't, because I enjoyed his time at Real. And,
It brings up bad memories for
like
us.
he was a perfect player for the club. The way it ended, you guys took him. And
You guys took him
Yeah, but
in the middle of the night. You just stole him.
it was like, but you know what? Wenger loved him, and Wenger gave him that license to play,
Yeah.
and he appreciated what he did.
Yeah.
It was after that it just went to shit. But I'm just surprised they left him in the wilderness for a couple of years. Like, shit, just fucked him off. What's the point? Paying his wage for 3 years or whatever it is for nothing.
When you're talking about players coming through with a different background
Yeah.
for the national team, reminds me of that. Was it a meme or a comment made after the 2018 World Cup when France won it?
Oh yeah.
They say you can't
Yeah,
fault
yeah.
France's preparation. They've been colonising Africa for ages.
That's true. But you know what? It's funny because the German national team, a lot of ethnic backgrounds,
Absolutely.
a lot of Polish players as well. Like you got the Podolskis and there's who's the other one? Had a couple of Polish players.
Look at the Africans. One's playing for Cameroon and one's playing for Germany. Boateng.
Oh, the Boateng, yeah, the
Yeah.
brothers,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
Boateng
Jerome for
brothers.
Germany and Kevin Prince for Ghana.
Okay.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ethnicities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, immigration in Germany.
And you had what's his name as well? What's that other Turk that played for Real
Khedira?
Madrid? So, yeah, Sami Khedira.
Tunisian.
No, he's Turkish.
Tunisian.
Now, you can argue with Adasi.
Here, Sam can do is half German,
He's got a
half
fucking
Tunisian.
computer.
Potato.
Flags are similar.
Some
Both begin
Arab.
with T.
The flags are similar.
Some Arab.
Then they both have red.
Don't keep on Arabs.
And jersey's red. I want to settle this.
Tunisia is red, yes, and says the flags are very similar.
And the
yes.
blood is Tunisian.
Here we go.
He was born in West Germany.
Yeah, he's
West Germany. All right, mate.
It's not his choice.
His name is Sami Khedira. It's not German.
Anyways,
Yeah.
You criticize the guy for where he was born like he had any say in it.
It's like
Yeah, alright, mate.
another player that retired last year, Peruvian,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Big Peruvian, man.
Pizarro.
Claudio Pizarro.
Claudio Pizarro.
absolutely.
40, 41, I think, when he retired.
Yeah.
Where do you finish up?
Sorry, I'm distracted here. Sami Khedira, father was Tunisian,
Yeah.
mother is German.
Okay, I'll stand corrected. He's Arab.
They never question Adasi again.
Turks are Arabs anyway. So
No, don't say
So
that.
look, Turkish,
They're
Tunisian.
not.
What? They're all Arabs.
I was close.
They're
T, Arab,
He-
same
he-
shit.
he-
Red
Anyways.
flag.
Here comes the European.
Red flag with a star. Like,
Set
Pizarro.
up, yeah.
Claudio Pizarro.
Shift into a different continent. Pizarro, yeah. Fantastic player.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
Munich.
Absolutely.
known for his time at Werder Bremen and Bayern Munich mostly.
Very long career, though.
didn't you play at Blackburn for a bit?
No.
No.
Oh, that's Rocky Santa Cruz. I
yeah,
apologize.
that's Paraguayan.
Same shit. Same continent.
Paraguay and Peru next to each other.
Somewhat colonized by Spain. Yeah, same. Look, I'm saying the same language.
Australia, New
PP.
Zealand, same thing.
There's red and white in the flag. Like, come on.
So he didn't do too well at Chelsea.
Nah.
No.
2 goals in 21 games.
No.
But he holds the record for being the highest scorer in Werder Bremen's history.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, apparently, is it true? And I mean, you got your little computer there, Johnny. Six all-time great, goal scorer for Bundesliga.
He was up there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember it was lethal in the Bundesliga. Definitely.
He had like 4 spells with Werder Bremen and
Massive career, man. Massive career.
5th stint with Werder Bremen, 5 stints.
What I can tell you, though, is that he holds another record of being the oldest goal scorer in the Bundesliga history.
Oh yeah.
Very big player. Like I don't always think he got. He was as appreciated as he should have been over the years. He always gonna like when you think of the superstars, he always got a little tucked away at times.
I think the problem as well, but back in Peru, they got a different opinion because he didn't really step up for the national team.
And here's a reason why.
Yeah, but their national team is. What's he gonna do with a bunch of monkeys behind him? Not literally.
They made the
Just
final.
bad players.
They made
Yeah.
the final
Yeah.
of the last Copa America.
As if they were gonna
They
win.
made the last World Cup and they beat Australia.
Please. What's that? Is that a record? Is that something to hang your hat on?
Saying that they're capable.
No, not capable.
When his
Shit.
time,
Are they ever going to win the World Cup? Tell us.
Peru.
Come on.
No.
Is Australia going to?
No disrespect to any Peruvians, but come on now.
On 7th of December 07, so he was accused of bringing a few women and alcohol into Peru's hotel, the concentration before the game.
Oh, wow.
I think it's their concentration camp.
Well, he's in Germany, so he's playing Germany.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
boy.
And he was suspended from the national team for 18 months.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah. So no wonder they're not a big fan of him back in Peru.
So
then.
what, man? Let him. Like, he's a
But even then,
footballer.
even when he played, like he didn't really score much, didn't really step up. But
That's why, because they treat him like shit. Let him have the women. Then maybe he would have scored. Both.
Both days.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, a top player, real creative player, great striker. Yeah,
he was there for a while. Yeah.
He reminds
Absolutely.
me of. He looks physically. He's at his face. He looks like. What's that Argentinian player? Lavezzi. He looks a little bit like
yeah.
Lavezzi, doesn't he?
A little bit.
something like over 400 games played.
Same continent. They're together. They speak Spanish to each other. They were all colonized at the same time. Hey, Johnny.
Yes. Next one.
Speaking of,
Anything else from Pizarro before I move on?
no, I mean,
I'm
good.
cool. Yeah, just known for his time in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
He's one that Adasi would know about. Aduris.
Yeah, known for his time at Athletic Bilbao. Spent most of his career there and went till about 39 years of age.
39.
Yeah, so he was like the heart and soul of Athletic Bilbao, and that's a club that's really big on their policy of having players only from the Basque region.
Yeah.
And he was one of them who was there for a long time, and yeah, he produced some memorable moments, scoring goals in big games against big clubs like Real and Barca in the league and Copa del Rey. And credit to him for sticking it out for Bilbao for a while.
Well, he had 3 stints there.
Yeah,
It's interesting that you say that Bilbao was only focusing on players from the Basque
East
region.
only as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't you think it's a little... I don't know what the word is here.
Wrong? Immoral?
Discriminatory.
Yeah,
Discriminatory?
discriminatory. Yeah.
Well, they're kind of bending the rules now. So if your father was born there or lived there, then you can kind of qualify for things like that. So
Yeah.
in a way,
I mean, I know the whole political thing
Yeah.
regarding that region. Obviously, there's a lot of shit there, but you would have thought that it would extend beyond football to some extent. But it's interesting that that's the case.
With the whole Catalonia, Barcelona
That's right.
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys know this, but he also holds a record that only him and Messi have.
Oh, really?
That's scoring in 15 consecutive La Liga seasons.
Scoring 8
Unbelievable.
goals.
Consecutive 15 seasons. Only Messi and our friend Aritz Aduriz
Yeah.
have it. Apart from that, I can't say I know too much about him and his style of play and striker.
Yeah.
I just remember. Yeah.
Not a bad record scoring, but he's a big.
Icon of Bilbao.
I
Yeah.
think just a regular number 9.
Yeah.
Just, did his thing. Good on you, mate.
Yeah. And credit to him for going till age
on you, mate.
of 39.
Age of 39.
Alright, what do you guys think about Milan Baros, another one that retired last year?
I thought Baros would have retired a long time ago because Baros was an early 2000s player for me.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's lasted till 2020, another 16 years past his, let's say, close to his prime. What did he retire at? 39, 40?
He's 39 now.
Yeah.
nailed it.
So 16 years ago. So let's say at Euro 2004, where the Czech Republic had a great run.
Yeah.
He was what, 23?
Yeah.
So he was coming into his peak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was he at Liverpool at the time?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's early in his career as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
okay, but let's say in the next 3-4 years, he should be in his prime.
Yeah.
26 to 28.
Saying he peaked
Should
early
be-
though, yeah.
You say the Czech Republic team, what an awesome side that was. I would say very unlucky not to go all the way and win it. Like,
Yeah.
he was a star player there. He was
Yeah.
big,
Did Milan
5 goals.
Baros start the 05 Champions League final?
I don't think so.
I
I don't recall, actually.
think he did.
I remember him in that jersey.
I mean, he did. I remember him getting out of the way of Smits's shot in that
Vladimir
second.
Smitsa.
Yeah,
That's a name
Smitsa
you
came
don't
on.
hear often.
Smitsa came on for Kuhl. I remember when Kuhl came off injured the first half.
Kill injured? No.
23 minutes in,
I'm shocked.
23 minutes. Are you sure it was 23
20
minutes?
something. I'm sure. I remember.
Please let it be
It was
23.
it was
We're gonna
it-
check
If
that
it's
up now.
23, I
It
swear
was-
to God.
it was
I'm never
bloody
gonna
early in the
argue
game.
again.
Walking out right now.
20 something minutes in, whatever, and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta get off."
Is that what he
honestly,
said?
No, he's groin problem.
his groin said he had to get off.
He said I gotta get off.
Honestly, I reckon it was 23 minutes. I think Adasi.
Something like that.
You
whatever reason.
just learn to trust him now, regardless.
500.
Yeah,
If he told you the sun's out now, you'd believe
just
it.
take him as
Could
gospel,
say
man.
anything.
Yeah, gotcha.
23rd minute.
Oh, again.
Nah, he didn't.
What a guess.
Oh my God. Are you kidding?
It is daytime right now too.
It was something like that. It was in the 20s mark, and I
It was something like that. What do you mean?
Is this quite
It is
serious?
22
Come on,
minute.
bro.
Johnny just checked it.
Johnny, what the fuck?
And Milan Baros did start the game.
Yeah.
But now
But he came off.
Now I'm angry. Fuck you.
Bro, how the fuck 23? How did you guess 23? Like if it ended up being 28, I'd say okay, he was at 20.
close, yeah,
it was
yeah.
early in the, it was halfway through the
Still
first half.
impressive, but
Yeah,
You
but
got there.
he would have like guesstimated that it was in the halfway
Yeah.
through the first half.
It was a.
But to pick the minute,
I remember it was early in the game. That's what I remember.
No, you don't. You remember the minute. You don't remember that it was early. You remember the fucking minute. What the fuck?
we started this podcast. Johnny was a little cranky because of earlier results, and now we have him and Fatty
It's
cranky.
gone from bad to worse.
Darcy, mate, what have you done?
He's so blasé about it as well.
That's what annoys me the most. It's like, oh, it's 23rd minute. You're like, it's like common
Yeah, like
knowledge.
didn't you guys know? You fucking idiots.
The problem is that when you challenge him, then he's like, his voice goes lower. No. Like with the Tunisia-Turkey thing,
Yeah.
like, no, it's Tunisia.
Tunisian.
Don't fucking argue.
For the last 6 years or so, Baros didn't do too much.
Well, I wouldn't expect him to.
No, I didn't hear of him. In that.
Yeah, but look, 7 years ago he was only 32.
Yeah, but
As a striker, it's not-
what
it's
I'm
not that bad.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the style of player he wasn't an explosive pace kind of player. So, as you got older, obviously that wasn't going to work in his favour. So obviously it translated into him not scoring many goals.
He went
or whatever
from
he did.
Baník Ostrava, I'm guessing from the Czech Republic,
Yeah.
to Liverpool. Do you remember which club he went to after?
After Liverpool, did he go to Germany?
No, Aston Villa.
Yes, he did go to Villa. He reminds me of someone else that was at Villa.
Tall striker.
No, long hair as well. Who was he?
And
Spanish? Ah, yes.
Juan Pablo
Juan Pablo
Angel,
Angel.
Yeah.
That's right.
Colombian.
Colombian. Same shit, Johnny. Same region, bro. They speak that language. They speak the same language. Yeah, Juan Pablo Angel. Same thing. Long hair with the little headband.
Yeah.
It was the style at the time, you know.
It was.
I was doing that Simpsons episode. It was a style at the time.
An onion on the belt.
Actually, I had hair like that back then.
Yeah,
He used to have a headband
It's
like
a-
that as
it-
well.
Yeah.
It's a Spanish South American.
I
It's all
used
the
to
same.
play.
Argentina, a headband. Johnny.
Spain, South America. It was all the same
Must be a
style.
phase.
A phase.
It's the same style.
No, top player. What do you, golden
wouldn't
boot,
say- I wouldn't
golden
say-
boot winner for Euro 2004.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he was a great player in that tournament. Yeah.
No,
I don't want to say he was, among the greatest.
No,
strikers
superstar or anything like that, no, no.
Yeah. But he was part of a very
Yeah.
good Czech Republic team. He was very unlucky at Euro 2004.
he peaked a little
I
early in
think
his
he's played
career.
one World
I
Cup.
think he
and
did. Yeah,
Too many 2006 he played in.
To be at number 9, a striker, his numbers weren't great.
No, yeah.
His career's not great. I think he's more remembered for his Liverpool time than anything else.
Yeah, definitely.
And that
And
Euro.
for the
Liverpool
Euro.
and Czech
And
Republic.
then,
Yeah.
that era, 02, 05.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 2000,
Yeah.
and then it was done.
That's it.
Another one that retired last year is Goran Pandev.
Yeah.
One for our box heads.
What
A
do you
real
think?
creative player. Real skillful
He,
guy.
Yeah.
Scored some. Was able to set him up. Played mostly in Serie A, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was part of the Inter Milan treble winning
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, yeah.
with Mourinho.
That's right. And big household name in North Macedonia.
Yeah, we don't have to say North. They
That's
work
what it is now.
now.
It
They
is.
just not,
No,
Greece,
you-
Greece, whatever. Same.
Oh,
Don't say that to me.
did any games played this morning for you, Fatty, as well?
No, I just don't like this pandering.
But that's the name, though. North
Adasi
Macedonia.
just likes to be
It's
correct.
Masso. You just say Masso. Just say it's Balkan. That's it.
Adasi likes to be correct, but Fatty just
Okay,
likes close enough.
if you want to be correct, you say he's Yugoslavian. Let's just say that.
What?
He was born in Yugoslavia.
Okay.
That's
But
his country.
He now lives in the
As a-
region known as North Macedonia.
Macedonia.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
North
which is
Macedonia.
like saying I'm Australian, but I'm New South Wales Welshman.
No, it's
So
not.
I'm just
So
from a
I
different-
can be Eastern Australian.
yeah, I'm just from a different state, right?
Yeah.
I'm Western Australian. You're
So
Victorian.
does Western Australia have their own government set up as
Well,
an
this is the
nation?
thing, right? The Balkans have just become states now, and they're trying to be countries. Anyway, that's a different argument. We're not going to get into politics. We said, why are you dragging me into this? Just
So-
let me do
Anyway,
this.
moving on.
Pandev the Masso.
Yeah, Panda the Massa. There you go.
So at Inter he was loaned out first.
Mhm.
But you're right, Ak, a lot of the time was that spent at Serie A.
Yeah, Lazio.
I think it was.
Oh, a couple of-
I remember
no?
him mainly at Inter Milan.
The treble,
Yeah, definitely.
the treble winner.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
yeah, it wasn't.
But
It wasn't.
I'm just thinking now that North Macedonia qualified for the Euros, is he going to come out of retirement and want to have a swan song? I don't know.
I just love how how you had to slip in his nation again. You know what you're doing.
That's what he's from,
You
man.
just want trying to trigger
That's what
Fatty
he's
again.
from.
Man.
No, he was amazing for Macedonia. I remember his numbers. Fantastic striker. Unrivaled goal scoring record. For Macedonia. Amazing. It was almost a goal every 2 games.
He didn't have too bad numbers, but fair enough.
Look, he's pretty much Greek.
That's what I said. It's that same region.
Now you've done it.
Oh no!
Jesus, there's some more shit.
Yeah, I know badly.
All right, let's talk about one that's close to home.
Close to home.
The captain, Mile Jedinak.
Interesting, because I spoke to a couple of Croatian friends of mine who saw Jedinak at his Sydney United days, and they didn't think much of him at
Uh-huh.
all. They thought he was just an average player, didn't contribute much, and then he obviously improved his game and made most of his career in England. And for
Well, he
the
went to
national team.
Mariners, started at Mariners.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
started at the Mariners. That's right.
Yeah.
He won the league with them.
Yeah.
Was it against us? He was there
2013 was a
against the
final.
Wanderers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken. But
No, it was before.
yeah, and then I think he went to Turkey after that. I forget the name of the club. One of those weird clubs' names in Turkey.
Yeah.
I can't say that name, man.
Gençler
Oh,
Birliği.
Gençer Birliği,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
He went to Turkey,
Yeah.
and then after that he went to England. I think Crystal Palace first.
Yeah, and then Villa.
Yeah, and then after that he was at Aston Villa. He really made his mark at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where he really stepped up.
Yeah, well, he was a Mariners before I even watched the A-League.
Yeah.
06, 09.
Yeah.
So
He left before 13. When did he leave? When did he go to Turkey?
So he went to Turkey in 09, and Crystal Palace was there for 5 years.
Yeah, he had most of his biggest impact, or where he really started to become noticed, was at Crystal Palace.
Wasn't he captain of it?
He captained
Palace
Crystal
as
Palace,
well?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then he went to Villa. He captained Villa. Captained Australia. Won the Asian Cup for
Yep.
Australia.
2 World Cups.
World Cups. Scored those penalties.
Yeah.
He had a solid game against was it Netherlands 2014.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a great game.
He was born in Eastern Australia. New South Wales, so pretty much Eastern Australia.
with a Yugoslavian background. So.
I won't forget. I think it was a 2014 World Cup. Tony Abbott at the time, the Prime Minister, sent a message
Mike.
to stop. Yes.
Mike Jedinak.
Hey, in Tony Abbott's defence, his name is Michael John.
Well, it is. There you go. Michael John Mille Jedinak says Mike.
Surprised they didn't call him Mile.
Yeah. Akram's not impressed at all with
Look,
that.
at a time where Australians are struggling to break into the Premier League or the top leagues, it was good to see someone, a captain,
Yeah.
in the Premier League.
He had a couple of stuff ups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I recall
Yeah.
a couple of times where he cost games, but
but he was a solid penalty taker.
Yeah.
straight down the middle. Doesn't fuck around.
I think I remember
Nothing else.
him missing one.
Didn't he score the free kick as well
He
to
did.
qualify for the 2018 World Cup? It was a deflection.
Against Honduras, was it?
I think so.
Yeah. Maybe Honduras.
But
I think when he grew his beard, he had that presence about him in the middle. He just felt
Yeah.
like he was a leader, and he had that aura about him.
is that why
That's
Akram looks weaker now?
Akram's
grow the
baby
beard
face
back?
now.
He got rid of the beard, so now he's like,
Samson, he lost all his strength now with that.
he doesn't scare me anymore.
Wow.
But he's soft.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
Mille Jedinak,
they call him Jedi as well.
He retired at Villa?
He
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they weren't offering him something, and probably just thought, fuck it.
I'm
The thing
surprised.
that disappoints me, about Australian footballers, why wouldn't you come back and give a year or two in the A-League to help promote the
And I was
the
about to
football,
say that.
the
Yeah.
sport in the country,
Yeah.
right? So you got your start here. You went and had a good career in Europe. You made more money than any of these other footballers that are ever going to make in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Playing in Europe, playing
Yep.
in the Premier League
Yep.
at the highest level, right? Not at the biggest clubs, but still at a very good level. You know you're finished. You're not getting another contract. You're not staying in Europe. You're going to come back home anyway. Any club will take him for a year or two. Any club.
He's only 36 now, so another year or two.
Man,
Wow,
I'm telling
yeah.
you, even if he came back now, any club would take him for at least a season or two. Are you telling me at his age, at his condition, his physical capabilities, he couldn't survive a year in the A-League?
Unless he wanted a lot of money.
Yeah, but you're finished anyway. You're not playing.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
That
If
would've-
if they give him marquee and say, listen, we're going to put you as Australian marquee, and we're going to give you 400 grand a year.
I remember even at Crystal Palace, he was from captain to being dropped to.
Yeah, he was in and out of the captaincy. There was a bit of thing around it. That's why he didn't stay after that. I know he
fair
wasn't
enough,
offered
yeah.
a new contract, but
And at Villa, even when they dropped, he was still there for a season, I think.
yeah, he was benched for a while as well.
In
But-
3 years, he played 70 games, which is not a lot.
Yeah, I don't like that about some Australian players, and I look.
Are you finding that that's a bit of a trend?
I hate those players that do that, or they think they're better than Australian football. I understand Australian football is not the quality, that's the level that you played at. But come back and contribute. If you really care about
Help
football,
grow the
come
game.
back and grow the game.
But do you think the FFA should do something in regards to financially?
Incentivize
Yeah,
attract
but,
these players?
but you saw that there was a lot of debate about it when it happened with Tim Cahill, right? They wanted to bring Tim Cahill and they sent him to Melbourne City and paid ridiculous money to have him come here. He was another one that didn't want to come to the A League and was like, whatever, iffy. And I obviously only came for the money because the FFA lured him. But I feel like these players, money aside, should have some sort of contribution to football in this country. Even if it's to say, hey, I'm going to come play for a year, wherever the club is, doesn't matter. And it's sort of helped along by the FFA arranging the deal with whatever the club is for a year to promote the game. Use him in your advertising, use him for something.
Your experience as well for the younger players.
Australian football fans will be able to connect with a Socceroo especially someone that's lifted the Asian Cup
Yeah,
in 2015.
absolutely.
Why? Why not?
No, it's
dis-
a valid question to
disappointing.
ask.
It's very disappointing.
But like Johnny said, it's also on the Australian Football Association to try to get involved and figure out why this is happening, if this is a trend,
Yeah.
and why specifically what these players are looking for when they come home looking to settle their careers and all.
That's another one that disappointed me. Like, I mean, Harry Kewell did it. He did it for Melbourne Victory. Did he go to Melbourne City for a little bit?
Melbourne Heart.
Oh, yeah, he did both. But anyway, Viduka disappointed me when he didn't come. I love Viduka.
Aloisi came back.
Yeah, Aloisi came from Brisbane. But
And,
No, Aloisi was hard as well.
and Sydney as well.
Viduka disappointed me.
Yeah.
I thought really Viduka should have come back and done something. Cahill, I felt, was a bit of a mercenary about it.
Yeah.
Really was after the money, which is you're trying to suck money out of a game that doesn't have money. Anyway, go on with that. But anyway, next one.
I've got a couple of Argentinians to finish off with. Start from the least to the most important for me.
Yeah.
Zabaleta.
Oh yeah,
That's least.
At least I
Really?
Wow.
Out of the three that I've got here,
Okay.
yeah, least important.
I enjoyed watching him play down that right side. as
Very
right
solid-
back.
very solid
and
right
I
back.
think as well, he was at Man City before Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi Group bought him, and he was there for a long time. He, all the money that they splurged on players, and he's, credit to him for
Surviving so long.
surviving and being a starter as well for so long as well. And
West Ham.
he also contributed in the final match day in the 2012 Premier League final match day. When they
No, their first,
scoring,
their first,
scored the first goal.
He was also 2014 right back for
Yeah,
Argentina for the World Cup.
yeah.
He comes across as one of those you mentioned in the Premier League of players that assist. Like he's very involved in an attacking sense. He's always pushing forward and getting involved. So
Getting stuck in as well.
Yeah.
Really good.
He was a West Ham after Man City.
yeah, he did go to West Ham. That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't know where he ended up, but
Did he finish up at West Ham,
I think so. I haven't seen him play for anyone else.
Yeah.
or did he go back and play for his childhood club in Argentina?
No.
There's generally a lot of players do
Did
that.
I? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's from San Lorenzo. He didn't play there.
I was looking the other day. I saw they had a post up about players that went back to their childhood clubs. Like they retired, but then they came back out of retirement.
Robin.
Aaron Robin went back to Groningen.
Groningen.
Who else was there? There's someone else that retired and went back for another season just to help out their old club.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, a few players like that.
Yeah.
So I thought
good to see.
generally, yeah, you'd go back and do that.
Yeah, of course.
Second, Mascherano.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
Liverpool, Barcelona. A lot of these are Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Oh, that signing to West,
West
Ham.
Ham.
That double signing with Tevez was
Yeah.
very, very controversial at the beginning.
That's what helped him stay up. That
Which
year.
was because they were owned by a third party, and then it brought
yeah.
into light that whole third party
Uh-huh.
ownership thing in the Premier League, and who
Yeah.
actually owns these players. And the Tevez Mascherano, I still remember that unveiling of them at the stadium, and there's the two of them holding their jersey. They're like, where the fuck are we? They didn't even know where they were. Like they just got ushered in. Like here you go, you're going to play football here.
big signings, and they helped him stay up that year.
Yeah, Tevez helped them stay up.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He helped West Ham avoid relegation,
Yeah,
and then they went on to bigger things.
yeah,
Monster player. Fantastic in that defensive midfield role.
yeah.
He got a bit older. Went into the central defense.
Yep.
yeah.
To me, in the 2014 World Cup, he was the best player of the tournament.
Really.
Better than Messi. Look up
Cool,
a tackle he did on Robin in the last minute of the game.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Look up and look. The ball's going in 100%,
Yep.
1-on-1,
Yeah.
from out of nowhere, slide tackle. YouTube it
yeah.
and let me know what you think.
It's one of those players is in a unthankful role. He does all the
Yeah,
hard yards and-
you don't get
yeah.
much
I
praise.
love a defensive mid role.
Yeah.
Like the Kante is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That role doesn't get much recognition nowadays because we spoke about that natural defensive position, just like a number 10.
Yeah.
They sort of don't exist as much. They're not a specialised role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mascherano was probably one of the last.
Oh yeah, and definitely
proper
one of the
defensive
best.
mids.
Definitely
Yeah, that played that role
Fantastic.
meticulously.
Great for Liverpool.
Yeah,
Really, everyone really enjoyed watching him play for Liverpool, and it was funny because at the time Liverpool was on the way up, had a few really great players, was really formulating something really strong.
Yeah.
So everyone was big fan. Did he play alongside Xabi Alonso there?
A few times.
Yeah,
It was like a fantastic. I
Yeah,
remember we were a
yeah.
really great duo there in the centre of the park.
He's very consistent because he did it at club level. He did it with the national team.
That's it.
And then obviously he did it at Barcelona.
At Barcelona, also, he was forced to play some games as centre back,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that. I remember seeing him pop up and I'm like, what the hell?
and he did the same thing at the national team as well.
Which is surprising because he's very short.
Yeah, for his stature, he had
Yeah.
to, it was all
Yeah.
about. Well, Barca was a team that would control 90% of possession,
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
so you wouldn't need the height at the back. You need someone to defend and distribute.
I remember as well. He was I think won the gold medal with Argentina at the Olympics.
Mhm.
Was that 2008?
It would have been,
Yeah.
04 or 8.
Yeah.
Can't remember which one.
Yeah.
He said it's 08, so I'd believe him over the Argentinian.
I said one of them.
I don't know. I believe
They
him.
won both. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So he's second. I mean, such a big player.
Wow.
He's second in my list because number one to me is Fernando Gago.
Yeah.
So
I was not
Gago,
surprised when you said that. I know you're a big fan of his.
Yeah.
Gago retired late last year.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries.
Yep.
I think he's had like 7 long-term injuries, whether it's Achilles or ACLs in
Yeah.
his career. For someone who's like 35, 36, that's
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
He's just recently announced he's going to get into coaching. He's got his coaching staff ready to go.
Yeah.
Good.
But I've seen few players like him in the midfield, in the middle
Yeah.
of the park. And I said it, injury-free. I know it's impossible
To
to say, but injury-free, he could have been as good as Redondo. Or
wow, yeah, no, it's pretty
young.
cool.
How old was he? How old was he last year?
35, I think.
Yeah,
36.
very
outside.
young. Very
Yeah,
young for
still
that
had-
position.
Yeah, his career at Real Madrid started promisingly when he came as a 20-year-old.
Yeah, very talented player.
And
Came
halfway through the season,
came alongside
and then his
Higuain
first-
and
yeah, Marcelo as
Yep.
well, the three of them at the same time. And then his first full season, in 2007, 2008, is where it was his best year at Real. They won La Liga, and really played well in that defensive midfield role.
100%. I remember the Real Madrid hierarchy really thinking
And-
a lot of him. As
Yeah.
out of the three,
Yeah.
I think they were like really impressed. They saw the same similarities that Johnny was suggesting about him and Fernando Redondo.
Yeah.
So definitely, a real player that I know me and Adasi we were quite excited for
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
So he's still 34.
That's
Where do you go next after Real Madrid? After
He was on Roma, loan,
He did go to Roma, that's right.
and then he went to Valencia. He was at Valencia for a little bit.
and then
vanished there.
eventually back to
From Valencia, he went to Vélez
okay.
for like a short term. Once again, he came for 6 months, I think, and
Yeah.
he's so many injuries. Played 4 games. Then he went to Boca. He was at Boca for 6 years,
Yeah.
and back to Vélez where he retired in November.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting thing. Like he's had a fairly lengthy career considering
Yeah.
the amount of major injuries. So good on him for that.
He persisted as much as he
Yeah,
could
but he
you-
persevered with it.
Absolutely.
until your body tells you.
Massive
do it.
what if in football. Like
Yeah.
like Johnny said, if he didn't have the injuries, who knows where he would have won.
And the mental strength to recover
Yeah,
after injury
Yeah.
after
'Cause that would've
injury
been-
after
yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
That would have been difficult.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
It's a shame. Players like that, you don't see the best out of them. I mean, you
Yeah.
mentioned Ronaldo before.
Yeah.
Same
the
thing.
ultimate what if, eh?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of players.
Ronaldo,
like
look, Harry Q had a lot of injuries, but for some reason I feel like Harry Q also lacked the mental strength that these players have.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
someone like
it's
Gago was a
different
leader.
caliber
He
as
was
well.
inspiring. His mental strength was
Leadership
admirable.
was off the chart.
Whereas
yeah.
Harry Q, I didn't feel that at least when he put on the Socceroos jersey.
Yeah.
He was a star player,
yeah.
but did not have those leadership qualities.
Yeah, I
Fair
agree.
enough. mate, Fair enough.
But to me, this guy, superstar.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's a tough one. I mean, that's football.
It's a shame with players like that because it's hard to advocate for them to people that can't justify their career
100%.
because there's no trophies, there's no achievement, whatever. Like for you to go and say to someone, oh, he's an amazing player. If someone's not very football, they'll be like, oh, but what did he really do?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what did he win? Like, oh,
Absolutely.
this player won this many trophies. It's not about that, right?
Not the most popular name that you're going to hear
That's right.
tonight.
You don't
but-
appreciate the player unless you've seen them play or
follow
execute
their
execute
career,
the
yeah.
role that they actually put in.
Yeah.
But he's definitely one of those players.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of seeing him live, and just the way the last few games that he played, obviously didn't run too much,
Yeah.
but the way he controlled everything, like just his passing, his accuracy, his vision,
Deep line
his-
playmaker style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very similar to, Alonso to Joe Pello, but he also had a bit more of a defensive, skill and skill in it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which is why everyone talks up Redondo so much, because he was such a great combination of those two roles.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Johnny, we missed out a couple of pretty big players. I thought we should still mention.
Yeah.
David Villa
Yep.
Yes.
and Vincent Kompany.
Two big
Company,
names.
Oh, another one as well.
Company went back to Belgium
Anderlecht.
after Man City,
Yeah.
but he didn't play very much.
Player
there.
coach, yeah.
Player coach. You
Well, I
don't
think
hear
he was a
that,
player
man.
coach, but he did start coaching. Yeah.
When you think Vincent Kompany, you think the screamer he scored.
Yeah, but his
that's
whole
what
his,
we were before.
his leadership as a whole for
Yeah.
Man City,
Yeah.
he really
Very, very important.
Another,
That's
another one of those that was at the Man City before the big money came in at the club and
Yeah.
was there
Stepped
for a long
up.
time. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then he still endured throughout that. Like he was a very crucial player for them for that whole time.
I've watched a bit of the All or Nothing Man City.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And talks about how important.
Yeah,
But he's one of those players that is a natural leader.
absolutely.
Natural leader on the field, off the field.
Yeah.
Comes up when it's important. Yeah, there's not many players like that.
No, absolutely. And then moving on to David Villa, part of that Valencia side that had Juan Mata, David Silva all together in one in one team. It's unbelievable.
Another player that came played in the A-League.
That's right.
Villa, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
For a few games, yeah.
Yeah, at Melbourne City.
Also, Villa.
Was it 6 games or something?
Something like that.
Or 4?
He's got a goal.
Said-
They made a big deal out of it.
Yeah, something shit. Yeah.
But he's a player that probably took part in one of the best,
Spain teams.
not only Spain teams, but
Barcelona,
best teams of
yeah.
all time in Barcelona in that era.
Yeah.
The Guardiola's.
It's interesting because he's also a bit of a what if as well, not to the same extent as say Fernando Gago, and not to the same extent on the other side as to Ronaldo. Like he definitely was a fantastically talented player that achieved big things, but then injuries did start to slow his career down.
Yeah, he did start. He did cop a few injuries later on.
Yeah. He missed Euro 2012 because of injury.
But in his peak, he was he was
Fantastic.
out and out number 9.
Scored in the final, Champions League.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny that Johnny, you're right. He was part of that, quite possibly the greatest side of all time, the 2011 Barcelona team.
Yeah.
I always kind of was of the opinion that I feel like he made a mistake on Barcelona, just because not so much being part of that team's success, but in Valencia he was that number 9. He was in the middle of the park. He was central to it. Barcelona got pushed out to the wing more often. Wasn't central. I would have liked to have seen him go to a team that to be built around him.
But
Is that when
Atletico.
Messi was playing false 9?
Yeah, I believe so.
But you know what? What was happening at Barcelona was what was happening in Spain. It was the same thing. So it was very seamless, the transition between Spain and Barcelona.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
It just looked like it was the same style. I remember goals where the front three were just zigzagging, like you didn't know who was where, and then you'd find one of them popped up in behind the defense with a lob over the top and a little.
And that's the thing.
first finish
I
cut.
think
It
regardless
was amazing.
of your role in the team, you would want to be part of that.
Yeah,
rather than
absolutely.
play more starring role in another team.
100%. But he enjoyed. You saw the goals that they scored, the amazing goals that they scored. They enjoyed the football that they were playing.
Absolutely.
Like if you go back and watch that team in that era, that 10 years ago, Barcelona, with the Villa, the Messi, that front attacking whole part of the squad was unbelievable. Like you looked at it was just pure football. It was pure enjoyment.
Yeah.
It's been good to be back, guys.
One more name to mention.
Oh, here we go.
I think with Fernando Torres.
I didn't have that stat.
No, neither.
Oh, does he?
Here we go.
I think it was a 2020.
Are you gonna down
Please tell
him?
me,
I could be wrong.
please tell me he retired
can't
in 2019. That would be a great way to end the episode.
Oh, I swear to God, if he's wrong, you're
I
gonna.
could
Please,
be,
here
but
we go.
Actually, I've got another name that only Fatty would know. Is El Hadi, the goalkeeper?
Who?
El Hadari,
That guy.
the Egyptian keeper.
Oh,
Adasi still knows who he's joining.
He's the oldest goalkeeper to play in a World Cup.
Could have been
47
that's
years
right.
old.
Could have been
Oh, wow,
2019.
yeah.
here we go, Torres. Don't say could have been. You said
No,
He
you said
retired in 2019.
Hey!
Adasi
Yes,
is wrong.
man. Finally.
You'll never be right again.
Adasi is wrong.
How quick does time go?
God,
Look at the smile on Paddy's face now. He's like, yeah, that's it.
Sami Khedira, freaking Turk.
You know what?
23rd
You know what?
minute,
Anyone out there listening, if you go on footballretro.com on the website, and you type in coupon code Adasi is wrong, 20% off anything.
It's called
Alright, Adasi is wrong is the coupon code.
Man, I'm
20%
sure it was
off
20
anything in the
I
store.
thought, man, how quick the time.
Love it.
This is a milestone.
I'm going to get on that tomorrow.
Is the code going to be accessible tonight or?
Yeah.
As soon as it's released. As soon as it's released.
Oh, this breaking news.
Adasi is wrong.
ADASI.
Trending.
Yeah, we've got to make a t-shirt on that, Joe.
Wrong.
Love it.
Tweet trending on Twitter.
Thank you, everyone.
No worries.
Hit us with questions. Hit us with anything you like. Anything you want to say?
Hit us with the algorithm.
Yeah.
Get on that subscribe button.
Yeah, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let us know if we missed any players that you feel strongly about, or your opinion of some of the players that we talked about today. And yeah, it's like, you know what, thanks for listening, guys. Great to be back, eh? You know, it's been what, a month already?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Next week already.
Yeah.
I've got to see my schedule first.
Fuck off, you're here.
Right. Great to be back.